Had to park down the road a little bit because it's just so narrow here. So right here, there's these big humps that are hard to drive over, and I suspect they're here from water crossing caused by a clogged culvert pipe. Because you see the river bed down here? I'm wondering if there's a clog on one or a few of these. Yes, there is a clog, cutting its capacity by a lot, causing it to go over the road. Now that's not much of a clog right there. So what that means is maybe the one down the street's clogged, sending more water down here than there's supposed to be. Just a really small blockage for today. Get all this out of the way. The sticks are the major problem. The slop doesn't matter. Yep, just throw it up to a higher spot where the water can't grab it. Walking down the street to the next area, you can tell is washing. And yep, there's a bed. See, it's going down here. Now this is an older culvert, look at it. Probably rotted out. There's a little bit of water passing through this one. The other one has stopped for the time being. Where's the entrance of this one? Is this it? I think that might be the entrance. Where is the entrance? I don't see it anywhere. Might be there. See, that's why this erosion's happening. The two of them working together should be able to clear this water. But this one is completely jammed up. Too much water. So it doesn't look like it's rotted out. It looks like, is this the entrance to it? Is this the entrance to our culvert pipe? I don't think I can find it. There's just so much mud. Yes, indeed. Nope. Here's the entrance to our culvert pipe, not where I was right there. This is it right here. And before we go ahead and waste a bunch of time getting back out here with a shovel or a rake clearing this, there might be an internal problem. I just stuck my hand in, it's full of water. That means there might be a collapse further down that's preventing it too. Got to make sure it's in good condition before I open it up. Wasting all that time. I stuck my hand in, it's full of water, and look at a steep angle. Why is that water not clearing it? What's wrong with it? Second. It's loose. The bottom's not completely rotted out. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and spend a little bit of time unclogging this. See what we can do. All right, the plastic one and the clogged one are down there. Now look at this one. This one hasn't run in years. And this one starts over here. Not clogged, but look at the evidence. Nothing's disturbed. Water doesn't even get directed at this one. So no problem there. Now let me explain what's happening here. Now that I got the entire thing open, it's half filled with water. That means at least half its capacity is cut. I think they installed it over a hump, or it's collapsed inside there. So I definitely do think this will run at half capacity probably, because the thing doesn't appear to be rotted out, especially the exiting end. It would have holes all the way through it if it was in that bad a condition. I think it's just installed like garbage. This very well might just fill in again the next storm, or maybe it'll improve. The way this area looks, it looks hopeless. It looks like it's just gonna fill back in. This road, as you can tell, is open to recreation, but it is not being logged at the moment, so they don't care about the road. They will make no improvement until they start logging it again. What they have to do is what this road should have, but they won't do it because it's all money. Unless they were going to make this a main artery, they won't do it. I'd say this road needs a good 3-foot diameter culvert to handle the work of both these pipes. All right. Looks like that's a piece of an old culvert that they took out. This plastic one is definitely newer, but it's too small to handle the work of both of them. I think they need a 3-foot pipe, and that might not even be possible because of bedrock, but they can always build the road up over it. Hey everyone, we were on the street back in the fall unclogging culverts and showing how poorly they were installed. And yep, take a look at this. Obviously they were installed poorly, and I'm going to go over some other things. This culvert, first of all, is way too small for the amount of water coming down this hill. And I think it got plugged, honestly. And you see, look how much water crossed the street. Just the evidence of how much it was, that culvert can't handle. They have to replace this, or eventually this road is not going to be here if we get a bigger storm. This spring was substantially smaller than it's supposed to be as far as flooding when the snow melts, because we didn't have rain combined. Just a one day. Oh, not too much in there. The echo came back and scared me. Okay, the other side, I predicted there'd be problems because the way they had it set up. Water can soak into the rocks, but leave the debris behind, clogging up the rocks. It'll take a few years, but as you can see, it's starting. You know, a wall of junk will start building here. Actually, that looks like it improved a bit. It's plugging the rocks up, so now I can go over it. So, that actually looks like it improved. Right here, you see how far beyond the road the culvert is? Most of these setups are like over here. They didn't leave enough space. We're going to go look at a few. Keep in mind, they paved this less than a year ago. I'm going to show you a few spots where the pavement's actually starting to fall apart. Look at all that erosion damage right here. Do you know what that's from? When they put the sand on the edge right there, you're not supposed to put it higher than the road. It's supposed to be slightly lower so it can flow off the road. But they built it up enough so it can't get to the drainage ditch, and it creates rapids and erodes it into the street. Just had to get out here to take a look at this stupid retention pond. Last year I thought they were still building it, but I guess not. So they use 6-inch sewage pipes. This is going to require constant care. So the way this basically is supposed to work is during a flooding rain, it's supposed to start filling up, then overflowing through that, which is going to plug really fast because it's so small. It's amazing this one hasn't plugged, and that's probably because the grass is starting to grow. There hasn't been a big storm since. But what I believe is that drainage ditch during a heavy rain, probably after the spring thaw, there's going to be so much water coming in here. 12 inches worth of pipe is not going to be able to handle it. And I think it's going to go across the road here and slowly deteriorate it, because this is up in the mountains and a lot of water happens when this thaws. Look at that. Those little pipes aren't going to be able to handle all this. Let's see where it comes out. Like, that would be okay for the bottom, maybe, but there should be like a big structure up here the size of a storm drain that it can pour into once it gets up to height. Well, not going to open that, but I assume that's a clean out since it's lined up. There's no water mains out here, just wells. Oh, yeah, it's clogged. Look at that. That might not seem like much, but that's really diminishing the flow. And you know what doesn't make any sense? This is only 6 inch. I thought there'd be 2 exits, honestly. So what's happening right there is it definitely can handle more than just 6 inches. And let me explain why. Well, I'm going to assume what they did down here. I'm going to assume they have this and this connecting at a Y. Hope it's not a T. That's stupid. But let me explain if it's happening at a Y. This one down here, if it's at full capacity coming in, eventually as it goes faster and faster, it's not going to be using the full pipe anymore. And maybe where they connect, it'll have enough room for the other pipeline to add, if you can understand what I mean. See what I'm putting on the screen? If you add water at this point, even though the beginning is full capacity, they'll be able to add a little. But still, this system is stupidly undersized because the people who installed it were very cheap. This may not seem like a big deal to some people, but the drainage ditch should have been over a little further, because as water's coming down here, it's eating away at this. And eventually, it's going to cause a lot of damage to the edge of the road. Rushing water is washing this away. It's going to start undermining the road right here. Okay, further up in this developing neighborhood, you see this right here, how they tore down all the trees on the left? They're about to pave this as a 2-lane road, just like what you saw. And who wants to bet the culvert pipes are going to be put in like that video I made last year? They're not long enough, they're not deep enough, the diameter's not big enough, so there's going to be erosion problems as time goes on. You see how they're getting prepared to make this road bigger? This is about to be a 2-lane road pretty soon. Now the other one was always 2 lanes, so that's one problem they avoided. I wonder if they're going to compact this enough on the left so like that side doesn't start crumbling and making some cracks on that side of the road. But only time will tell. By the end of the summer, this will be paved, and we'll see what they did. Yep, they got a lot of work ahead of themselves here. I see them dumping a whole bunch of big rocks to the left, because they're trying to build this up to make this 2 lanes. They have a drainage ditch on the right. And the way, you see that's bedrock that you're seeing exposed. The old road used to go to the left. I don't know if they're gonna close that. It looks like they might close that once it's done, because straight ahead here is the new road, if we can even get up there. Yeah, I can do it. It's a little slippery. Nothing but the big old bulldozer has been up here recently. Yeah, this is going to be a road too for development. I'm not going to go any further. It doesn't look like a good place to turn around. I'm going to back down this so I don't have any issue with getting stuck, because this road is really soft. Damn, that sucked getting out of there, because I slid and bottomed out a little bit. Horrible road. This area of road is definitely closer to being paved, as you can see right here. It's wide and ready for pavement. Yep, they're doing the same thing with the culverts. That one wasn't necessarily not deep enough, but the entrance should have been further over because the edge of the road is going to fall down on it as rain runs off the road. Yeah, like I just said a moment ago, I did bottom out. I just got out and climbed underneath just to make sure there's no damage. No, there isn't. It just hit the frame. There's no scrapes on anything else. No big deal. And I did hit it really slow because what happened was, you saw how that was built at like a fork. As I was backing down, I slid sideways off that fork when there was like maybe 2 feet of the hill still left, so I slid on that. It's a good thing there wasn't a little more. Would have got stuck on the hump. Yeah, it's a good thing it didn't happen at the top too. Whole car would have flipped over to the side because the bottom was muddy and I slid over to the side.